if we want to build proper digital engagement, then we need to use digital tools, well, to engage, to put our hearts on our sleeves online.
StepTwo is a remote-first company based out of Canada.
What makes a world-class Microsoft 365 intranet and digital workplace?
Because as Richard said, I mean, here are these new technologies coming in, right? Here's these ways of crawl, walk, run, about taking some of these things in, around building capability, maybe within the intranet team, the internal comms team, the digital workplace team, and then pushing stuff out. And certainly we do, a lot of work with these kinds of teams in organizations and organizations of all sizes and shapes. What we see then is, though, there's both a challenge and an opportunity in terms of making this a reality. And so we've been talking a little while, over a year now, around what's a digital maturity model for internal communications and collaboration. Now, the writing on this slide is tiny. The slides are available afterwards, the link at the bottom of the page. So obviously, I'm going to touch upon a few of these things. But what I say is, in order to progress, in order to make a real jump forward, we need to be looking at multiple streams in coordination. So the first column is formal internal communications. And so, yes, now we have a modern intranet, or we have things like, the company communicator for Teams. So we have these capabilities, but part of the maturity in formal internal communications is moving away from a model of all staff emails, moving away from, we'll do our company newsletter that was printed, but, it's modern now, it's a PDF. Moving away from that after the fact communications, moving towards a as it happens communications pattern. And it seems obvious, but actually, there's a lot of really strong embedded behaviors in organizations around this, particularly at senior leaders and how they want to communicate to the wider organization. And then in the second column, this sits alongside collaboration. Because again, to Richard's point, okay, so look, we have Teams, and it's being used a lot. And so, how are the organizational practices around that? And in a related part of this model, what's the handover line? What is the handover line from formal internal comms, top-down, centralized communication, crafted, curated, up to local collaboration, right? At some point, this becomes me chatting with the rest of my people in my team, right? Or me collaborating with the rest of the business unit. So where is that negotiated handover line from communication to collaboration? And then in the third column, that social and cultural side of things, and this is where, we make organizations twitch. We talk about Yammer. Because actually maybe Yammer's great, right? So maybe actually there's nothing wrong with the tools. Maybe in fact, this is not just about formal comms. Maybe this is not just collaboration in terms of getting work done in a team. Maybe it is about building relationships, about having fun across organizations. And there's a tool for that. It's called Yammer. And if you don't like it, it's because you did it wrong the first time round, right? All those years ago. So, if we want to build proper digital engagement, then we need to use digital tools, well, to engage, to put our hearts on our sleeves online. And that's also about things like peer-to-peer recognition, whether that's a lightweight, whether that's a heavyweight side of things. Fourth column, the intranet, well, you should have a good one. Right? You can't sort of deliver effective internal comms without an effective intranet. And so this is where, we need things to be fundable. We need it to be well governed and with the resources put in place around this. And then lastly, in the fifth column, it's around the modern work practices. And this is where we are at best only halfway through the journey. So, okay, we all went home in a hurry and we worked from home and we now spend all of our time in Teams or Zoom meetings, but there is more to modern work practices than that. and this is this digital dexterity thing coming back in. And this is where there's a real danger, right? As we are coming out of the pandemic, do we continue to progress in maturity, or do we fall back? Do we go, oh, well, that's fine now. We're all back in the office. Let's have a meeting in person. I mean, I went into a client site yesterday for a whole day for the first time in 2 years. It was kind of bizarre, kind of fun, but oh my goodness. And so what this maturity model is saying is look at where you're at, look at where you want to push, because actually, interestingly, the things that have progressed the most are things like the collaboration and the modern work practices. What are the areas that progress the least? Oh, actually, it's formal internal comms. All right. So there's some catching up on this. And then to Susie's point, go off and make some friends. Go off and connect with other areas of the organization, see what they're doing, and say, how can we work together to deliver a better outcome?